What is up, you geezer blow type geezers? It is Chris Marder 9 here. It's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, it has. So, I've been doing quite a bit of a thinking regarding this YouTube channel. And, well, I haven't done a video in about 3 or 4 months. So, yeah, the last video that I did for this was when I was doing all of those Premier League predictions. I only did like it was only 2 videos that I did for that. And, well, I didn't keep it consistent, so I guess it wasn't a good idea for me to make videos on, unfortunately. So, what I have decided to do after another 3-month hiatus is, well, how about I just focus this YouTube channel on Chelsea? Like, at least 80% of the content of the channel will just be about Chelsea, basically. Now, forget all of the content that you've previously seen on this channel. Yes, it's there. Yes, they've got loads of views for that. But I feel that now is the time to change this up. And, well, just use this YouTube channel that isn't gaming related. I keep saying this constantly. It's not gaming related. To be just about Chelsea Football Club. Because this is the other thing that I love more than, as well as gaming and other things. And that is just the fact that I'm a big Chelsea supporter, and I don't know how to start this. I don't know how to begin this YouTube channel, but like I said, every football vlogger out there starts from somewhere, you know. So I thought I would take this opportunity to sort of touch base on, you know, what's been going on at Chelsea Football Club and well, my beloved team, and well, just sort of catch up, basically, because the last video I did regarding Chelsea was when we were a few points below the relegation zone. We had just sacked Jose Mourinho, and we did not know anything from Adam about what was going to happen with the club. So let me take this opportunity to just tell you at least what's happened since then, just so we can sort of catch up, you know? I just had the word catch up too many times. So anyway, so after sacking Mourinho, we appointed Gus Hiddink, and, well, to cut a long story short, he steadied the ship, allowed us to finish 10th place in the 2015-16 season, which was still technically our worst season to date. And, well, if it hadn't been for Gus Hiddink, we would have pretty much finished in the lowest possible way. But thankfully, we had Gus Hiddink, who prevented us from losing too much, won some really important games, but drew too many of them. And like I said, we finished a very, very disappointing 10th place. So, in that summer, after we had said goodbye to Champions League football for a season, in comes Antonio Conte, who had just taken Italy to a quarter-final of the European Championships. And, yeah, he got installed as our new manager. We signed players like David Luiz, and, well, signed David Luiz back from PSG, and we signed up Marcus Alonso as well. Kind of debatable signings. Also, N'Golo Kante, who had just won the league with Leicester City, joined us for 30 million. And then, well, we had an absolutely incredible season. N'Golo Kante was our best player, bar none. Eden Hazard could potentially rival that, as well as Diego Costa, who I will be getting to in a minute. Relatively had great seasons, and we ended up winning the Premier League on the strength of that. We set a record of 30 professional wins in the league. I think we only lost about 4 times to Palace, Spurs, Man United, Liverpool. Actually maybe 5 times. Okay, 5 times, and drew the other 3. So, relatively good season. And also, during that season, we went on a 13-game winning streak, which, amazing. So, Antonio Conte takes this dejected and depleted Chelsea side, having finished 10th in the league, to where they should be, which is the Premier League champions. So, now that I've got this all out of the way, you know, we took that season. We didn't have European football to worry about, so we focused on the Premier League and the FA Cup, which unfortunately we lost to Arsenal in the final. We didn't win the FA Cup, unfortunately, but we won the league, so that's success. That's better than the previous season. Let's be honest, right? So, having said all of that, we now go into the new season, the 2017-18 season. So, what have we done? Well, we've signed some really good players during the summer, albeit it's taken them ages to sign. But, well, the first player we signed was Antonio Rudiger from Roma, a German centre back who had just, well, I think he came off the back of winning the Confederations Cup with Germany. And yeah, he signed up with us for, I think it was £35 million from, let's just say, from Roma. Not the best signing to start off with, but, you know, it's a signing. You know, everybody wanted us to sign a player. And then after that, we signed Timoe Bakayoko from Monaco for 40 million. He was a player that I was worried about because there was a possibility that he could end up with Man United, having them signed, after they'd signed Lukaku from Everton. There were reports that he was going to follow him, but thankfully he opted to join Chelsea, and everything was all right. You know, he signed. Again, it took him a while to finally sign. He was trolling everybody on social media about whether he was going to sign or not, but he ended up signing. And then, just quite recently, I think it was a couple of weeks ago, we ended up signing Alvaro Morata from Real Madrid for an estimated £60 million, which could rise to 70 million due to performances. So yeah, we broke the record to sign him. So yeah. And then pre-season. Now, the pre-season this season has been on tour to China and Singapore. We've played 3 games already. The first game we beat Arsenal 3-0 in China. 3-0. Convincing win. 2 goals. 2 incredible goals from Michy Batshuayi, who, I've got to be honest with you, he has answered a lot of critics. You know, he ended the season pretty positively, you know, with really important goals. You know, he scored the goal that won us the league against West Brom last season. He scored 2 incredible goals against Sunderland in the final game of the last season. And he scored great worldies against Arsenal. So he's been okay. He's got an incentive to replace Diego Costa, who's leaving, unfortunately, because he had a massive problem with Antonio Conte. So, yeah. You know, what can I say about Diego Costa? You know, he's had a real problem with Conte recently. You know, Conte has said via a text message that, you know, Costa is not in his plans for this season. And we seem to have replaced him with Morata, but we'll see what happens this season if he can be good enough to replace Costa. I mean, we've got Batshuayi and Morata as strikers. There's possibilities that we could sign somebody else, but you know, I'm going a bit sidetracked here. So let's talk about pre-season now. So beat Arsenal 3-0, that's set. But then we play against Bayern Munich and Inter Milan in Singapore, and we lost both games, unfortunately. We went 3-0 down at one point against Bayern Munich. Then we scored 2 more goals on them. We ended up losing the game 3-2, but it was really unconvincing the first part of that game, because our defence was absolutely terrible. We had, I think Christensen was playing. He was a loanee from Mönchengladbach from 2 years, so he came back to a much stronger player. But it's worrying. I mean, you know, the fact that, you know, these players have come back from, some of them were part of the winning team of last season. Some of them have come back really positive from their loan spells, and you know, it's early stages, but I feel that, you know, with these players, they need to be playing a lot better than they are. But thankfully, we have players like Marcus Alonso and Batshuayi to get goals for us at really important times and to get the goal back, to get it back into a certain area. But we did still lose 3-2 against Bayern, and then today we lost again. We lost against Inter Milan 2-1. Now, again, this is questionable. I've got to be honest. We didn't play very well. We got a penalty claim. Well, we lost. We went 1-0 down due to a penalty, which is debatable. I mean, there was no contact, absolutely no contact, but unfortunately, Inter Milan scored. Courtois saved the penalty, but then there was a follow-up. He followed the ball in, so it was 1-0 to Inter Milan. And then Perisic, in the following second half, makes it 2-0. The same player that's been linked with Man United this summer. So imagine if Man United end up signing Perisic and he comes up against us again. Yeah, that would be fun times. So there was that. And then, straight afterwards, we have to rely on the world's greatest own goal from about 40 yards from Kondogbia to get us back into the game with 15 to 20 minutes to go. So after that, we dominated the game. We tried to get a second goal to level the score at 2-2, but unfortunately we didn't. We ended up bringing some of our young players on. And then, well, it finished 2-1 to Inter Milan. So 1 win and 2 losses. I feel that it could have been a lot better for us, but at the same time, I feel that, you know, I find a lot of positives from these games. You know, I try hard to find positives. Obviously, we got 2 goals back on Bayern, which I feel is a good positive thing. It could have ended 3-0, a very unconvincing 3-0 loss, and it wasn't. And okay, yes, it was an own goal that we ended up getting through Inter Milan, but we ended the game pretty positively. You know, so some of our young players came on and really troubled Inter Milan. So yes, we did lose those 2 games, but I feel that there's a lot of positives to take out of it. And we go into our next game next week against Arsenal in the Charity Shield, Community Shield, and I think we can still beat Arsenal. I think we can. We can get one over them at Wembley. Yes, they did beat us in the FA Cup final, but you know, this is a team that we didn't have Hazard because he's injured. We didn't have Bakayoko because, well, he's injured, and well, yeah, there's a lot of positives to take out of this. You know, you shouldn't diss Chelsea at the moment. You know, we lost to Real Madrid 3-2 in the US back last year. We ended up winning the title. So, you know, it could go either way. And we start the Premier League season, of course, against Burnley at home. So we've got to be mindful of a few things. Conte has said in the media that he wants Morata to be fitter to be able to start the season. And I feel that in a player like Morata, you know, he can do something like that. So, you know, well, those are my thoughts. You know, they're going to be broken up. I've gone off at a tangent a lot in this video. You know, it's my first one, so please be nice to me in the comments if there is any. And yeah, I hope to do another one of these vlog videos in the future. I'm very, very new to this, so I want to be a sort of Chelsea vlogger relatively regularly. So yeah. So like I said, those are my thoughts. I do hope you will say a lot of good things in the comments below if there, like I said, if there is any. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. If you want to check out my gaming channel, Chris Marder Games, the link will be in the description below as well. You can follow me on Twitter at ChrisMarder9. I talk a lot about Chelsea, anything that's gaming related, and all of that other stuff. But mostly Chelsea, because that's what I talk about mostly on here. So yeah, and also if you want to check me out on my other, I've also got a Pinterest account based on my gaming channel and everything else. There's a Facebook page as well, apparently, on Chris Marder Games. I don't know. See, Chris Marder Games sorts all of that out, not me. So yeah. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and yeah, I will talk to you in the next video. Hey, door, and peace.